God. Charlie. Hey, good morning. Hi. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Good morning.
Yay!
It's so good to see you.
You too. You too.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we are live. So I've been struggling to have Zoom be live in my Facebook group. And for whatever reason, it's just not working. The app is not working. So um, I have it live in the group, but through Facebook. So I'm actually running two videos right now, which is cracking me up. I've never done it this way before. It's weirding me out a little bit, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're good. We're here. Now,
Okay. Do you want me to go over to Facebook?
no, not at all. No, no,
Oh,
you are perfect. You're perfect.
okay.
But this is just something that's been going on for weeks. And, the culmination is right here. And I've been working on it even this morning. And then, like literally 3 minutes ago, it occurred to me that I could just, in another screen, do the Facebook Live. And it
Okay.
worked. Like Facebook and Zoom are both using the same camera. I had no idea that that could happen. So
Oh,
I'm live
okay.
in Facebook and I'm here live with you, and it's perfect. The people
Okay.
on Facebook cannot see you. So, folks on Facebook, I'm sorry if you can't see. Um,
I know I can't see anybody else either, but that's okay.
Well, and that's okay. Well, no, because Charlie, this is our first session, so it's really just you and I today because it's the first session and no one's signed up for the live Zoom session. So everyone's going to
Oh,
be watching on Facebook and it's just going to be you and I today. So
oh.
that's I know. Don't worry. I'm not going to put you too much on the spot, okay?
Okay. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure, but a little bit of pressure. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I think they can hear you, which is good.
Okay.
But still though, no worries.
Okay.
Um, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started
Okay.
on the agenda for today. And let's see. So I will, by the way, I will post the replay of the Zoom session in the Facebook group just
Okay.
because that's kind of how it's supposed to go anyway.
Okay.
So, just to kind of recap what we're doing here today, and giving a general introduction, my name is Crystal Lynn Bell, even though when Charlie knew me originally, I had a different name, but that's a
Okay.
different story. Thanks for keeping up, Charlie.
That's right.
So, I'm Crystal Lynn Bell. I am Badass Butterfly. And this Facebook group um, is a community of women who want to be spiritual life coaches. And some of you in here are already spiritual life coaches, and that's great. But many of you are thinking about becoming spiritual life coaches and want to know more about it. And my goal as a coach and mentor is to give a really good understanding of the spiritual and the emotional um, responsibilities that go along with being a spiritual life coach, and to give you which everyone here is really good at. Most of the
Mhm.
people that come to me are really good with the spiritual stuff and the emotional stuff. And on Sundays, we focus on the spiritual and emotional stuff. But there's a whole other side to being a spiritual life coach, which is the business stuff and having earthly success. So we talk about the business stuff on another day in another live stream. We do that on Thursdays. And so today we're going to focus on the spiritual and emotional. Thursdays we'll do some business stuff and talk about the realities of actually running a business, getting clients, marketing yourself, getting your message down, setting up your Facebook groups, doing all that kind of stuff. But Sundays are the time when we want to, um, number one, I see Sundays as the beginning of the week. And traditionally, in the Christian religion, it is the day of rest. It's the time of coming to the Lord, coming into community, and getting yourself really aligned with God and your religious practice. My work is non-denominational, but I really love getting aligned on Sundays. And so that's why I've set up this particular Sunday meeting, which is ongoing. So every Sunday you can come here and you can come live onto the Zoom meeting, right? And there's a little financial investment for that. And I'm keeping that really small because I want to do personal readings for people and personal coaching for people. So this whole um, Zoom session, which is broadcast live into Facebook because you get a lot from listening, right? So if you're not ready to invest or you don't really have time or you want to watch on the go, then doing it live in the Facebook group is fine. But to actually be here and to receive and to get the reading and to get the coaching, then you want to be here live on the Zoom session. So that's what we're going to be doing today. All right.
Okay.
So, um, great. So, what I'd like for us to do, um, I want to thank you for coming to join me today. And I also, though, want to get us grounded and connected.
Mhm.
And um, every week on Sundays in the morning at 3 a.m., I release the subject for the week. Okay. And there's a blog article that is dropped. I post it in the Facebook group. It's put on the blog. It gets emailed as well. And that is setting the tone for the things we're going to be working on for the course of the week. So this week, the blog is about being a badass caterpillar. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But I want to just say that as we start the meditation. Um, because I want you just to kind of have that in the back of your mind as I'm getting us grounded and getting us breathing into our body.
Okay.
So um, please go ahead, close your eyes, and just kind of relax into this moment. Taking some time first to connect to the body. So taking some deep breaths and feeling yourself, feeling your breathing apparatus, your inhalation, maybe focusing your awareness on the air as it enters your nose, or if you're a mouth breather, your mouth, but feeling the physical sensations of the air coming into your nose. And just noticing what it feels like to inhale and exhale through the nose. And if you can notice with your next inhalation how you notice your face and your head expanding, your throat expanding, your chest expanding, your body expanding with each inhalation. And with your exhalation, notice the letting go. Notice how there's a gentle compression, but a natural compression. And just paying attention to your inhalation. and the exhalation. And just resting gently with this process. And bringing your awareness into the entirety of your body with your breath. Noticing your nose, your face, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, but also your lower torso, your stomach, your back, your belly, your abdomen, your hips, down into your legs, your knees, your calves, your feet. Just noticing all of those as you inhale. And you exhale. Just being an awareness of your physical sensations. Staying connected as you inhale. And exhale. And very gently bringing your awareness to a deeper level where you're noticing the energy in your body. And I want you to bring your awareness to your feet. Just noticing the flow of energy, the flow of blood, any tension. Noticing the energy that's at the root of the tension, at the root of the blood flow, any tingling. You might experience this energy as explosions of light, vibration, shaking, quaking, waving. Just noticing the energy in your body, in your vessel. You might notice cold or heat. Swirls, or even vacancies. Just notice the energy in your feet. Bringing your awareness into your ankles and into your calves. Just noticing the energy. Bringing your awareness into your knees, into your thighs, into your hips. and bringing your awareness into your lower abdomen and your pelvis. Just noticing anything there. We're starting to move into our major chakras. So just paying attention to any stirrings in your pelvis, any stirrings in your lower abdomen, where your sacral chakra will be. Bringing your awareness gently upward. Any awareness of your navel area, moving into your solar plexus, noticing the energy. Any shaking, quaking, waving, vibrating. Bringing your awareness into your heart. Feeling any vibration, any radiation. And if you want to, you can even use your hands to kind of sense that energy around your heart. Maybe don't touch your body, but hold your hands just an inch or two away from your heart space and just feel the radiance of your own heart with your hands. This is a good way to help you know this energy is real. You can feel that radiation from the heart relatively easily. And bringing your awareness upward into your throat, your shoulders, and your arms, all the way down to your hands, noticing the energy. And bringing your awareness into your head, your face, noticing tension and the source of the tension, the energy that underlies any tension or physical sensation. And just taking a deep inhalation and coming into your body fully. Feeling yourself completely from head to toe. And just taking your hands together and rubbing them, generating energy, and then release and hold, just observe. Coming into a more awakened state, a more alert state. You can move your body a little bit to feel yourself, bringing yourself back into conscious awareness, activating those logical thinking, rational, masculine aspects of the self, waking yourself up, coming into vibrancy, and maintaining that deep connection to your energy, to your physical sensations, to your physical body. Very slowly, when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself fully into your room, your space, very gently. Hi.
Hello. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you. How do you feel right now?
Very grounded.
Great. That's exactly what I was looking for. And this is important. And I'm going to just talk to you right now about our theme, which is being a badass caterpillar. So, the physical body is a limitation. We are eternal beings having a limited experience. And this limitation is an opportunity for us to have contrast. The contrast to freedom, to flight, to the skies, which is the other end of the caterpillar's journey, right? Our journey. The badass butterfly, or just the butterfly is a being that has lived two lives, a life of limitation, groundedness, rootedness, stuckness even. You can only go so far so quickly. Gravity holds you down. When you go up, when the caterpillar inches its way up, it inches its way up. And yet, that inching, every step builds more muscles, feeds sensitivity, right? As a caterpillar in a forest kind of makes its way across the forest floor, every step, every leaf that it encounters is an obstacle and an opportunity. As it navigates the foliage to get the food that it needs to nourish itself, every step is an opportunity to learn, to receive, to expand its being. So the caterpillar takes in nourishment from living, from being in its body. And it also takes nourishment from the things around it, the predators, right? The instinct activated to go find its food, to avoid predators. Its body changes color to blend in with the foliage, with the ground, so that it can be protected from predators. It doesn't say, hey, I need to go green. It's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious or an unconscious instinctual process that the body is doing on its own. We humans are so much like caterpillars and butterflies. And our job is to recognize that probably, most likely right now, we're not a butterfly because we still need help. We haven't learned all of our lessons. We have a lot of growing to do. And so, like a caterpillar, we have to be in this body and we have to receive information from the three-dimensional world to help us expand. So sometimes we hurt ourselves, we hurt our physical body, and it hurts and we get mad. But what we really should do is be hurt and embrace that pain and let the pain, rather than making us collapse into a ball like a roly-poly bug, we can let that pain expand us into being badass caterpillars who are at one with our pain, at one with our challenges, at one with our obstacles. And the more we become at one, and this is a biblical reference, that phrase, at one, you put those words together, you get atone. That's biblical. You atone for your sins. You atone for your sins, though, by becoming at one. It's not about feeling shame for our sins. It's not about being ashamed of what we've done wrong. It's not about being ashamed of our failures, our mistakes, of our weirdness, our foolishness. We shouldn't be ashamed. We should be atoned, at one. Being at one means that you have no resistance. I am not ashamed. I am at one. I'm foolish. I'm stupid. I didn't know. I am at one with not knowing. And what happens is the foolishness passes. The shame passes, the stupidity passes, the injury passes, the wounds pass when we are at one because we have no resistance to them. I'm not mad at myself for making a mistake. I'm not mad at myself for not getting it right. And then we can grow faster, and then we can receive faster, we can receive more, and the pain passes faster. So the caterpillar, and they're lovely creatures when you watch them. Number one, they're beautiful. They're physically beautiful. They are furry, and they are sleek, and they are colorful, and they're fat. And they take in the world completely with their being, and they adjust and adapt. And that's what we do if we allow ourselves. So caterpillars eat. And they eat and they eat and they eat from the moment they're born. They have to eat. Butterflies and deliberately lay their eggs on the leaves of the food that the babies need to eat. Okay? So the eggs come out and they come out eating. They come out as little larvae. We don't like that. We don't like larvae. We think, ew, gross, maggots, yuck. But these little things turn into beautiful caterpillars and butterflies. And they eat. They eat, and then they expand through their body. It's molting, right? They don't shed, they molt. They burst through their skin, right? They outgrow their skin. So you can imagine that's super uncomfortable, right? And we also molt. We take in life and we burst through, and it's painful. We burst through those old versions of ourselves, and we learn more and we take steps forward. We are badass when we embrace this process. So instead of shrinking from opportunity and shrinking from challenge and saying, no, I don't want to grow, we want to go toward our challenges. We want to go toward the things that scare us. Okay? The more we go toward the things that scare us, the better results we get on the other side, right? Now, sometimes it's inevitable and spirit will drag us kicking and screaming. I don't recommend that, okay? I recommend my way. I recommend going toward your fear with your eyes wide open. Don't close your eyes, okay? I know this is going to hurt. They're coming at you with the needle, right? COVID vaccination, they're coming at you with the needle. You're going, is this going to hurt? And they're like, it might pinch a little. And you can close your eyes, but I recommend you keep your eyes open. And I recommend you breathe and pray, God, help me, help me, help me. That didn't hurt at all. Yeah, now you're vaccinated. Now you're clear. Now you can go to France, or you can travel, and you can go to restaurants, and you don't have to wear a mask. Unless, of course, you do. So, my point though is that this experience of being a caterpillar, because everyone kind of wants to rush and be a badass butterfly, right? Crystal, I've gone through transformation. I've experienced so much pain in my life. And I'm saying, yes, but have you made the ultimate transformation? Okay. So the answer is usually no. I know very few badass butterflies. I know a lot of women who have gone through a lot of pain and they have grown a lot, but have they made the ultimate transformation? Very few. And here's the reason. Let me talk a little bit about that transformation from caterpillar to butterfly. The caterpillar is a three-dimensional worm-like being. It gets a calling and it goes into a cocoon. It actually doesn't go into a cocoon. That's wrong. It becomes a cocoon. The body itself hardens. It takes a little bit of thread and it wraps itself to something that will support it. The body crystallizes. So the actual caterpillar's body becomes the womb and the tomb. It's the womb for the butterfly to birth itself, but it's the tomb for its old self. When I ask women if they've gone through that, they say, no, I've not done that yet. No, I haven't done that yet. But they've done something close to it, okay? They're getting there. So the caterpillar becomes the tomb, and the insides, its brain, its old way of being basically stops functioning. It just can't anymore. And all that's left is the butterfly, the higher being inside. So you'll know that you are ready to become the badass butterfly, like as a human. You're ready to make that transition when you can't do the old stuff any longer. You just can't. You can't overeat. You can't binge watch. You just can't escape. You can't close your eyes to shit. You can't tolerate wrongness on any level. This whole pandemic thing has forced people to start looking at themselves, to look at their community, and to not tolerate. So in a way, our world is in a bit of a cocoon. People are kind of like, I'm not doing that anymore. And you can feel it inside yourself as a wall. It's a wall, but it's not a blockage. It's a step up into a new understanding of yourself. And the way you know it's real is that temptation comes in and you say no to the temptation. The temptation to choose wrong, the temptation to think the old way. So it has to happen on many levels. It's at the level of the mind, the body, and the spirit. You just can't any longer. And that's when you know it's time to be the badass butterfly. And that takes on its own set of challenges because the badass butterfly is alive inside the caterpillar's old shell, the shell. So now you got to figure out how to bring all that new stuff into this physical world, right? You have to break free of the old body, which means there's a process. You do things physically different. You got to maybe start lifting some weights, start doing some yoga because this butterfly is like, I got wings and they got to get strong. There are things that are different physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. You'll know. For right now, I want I want you to be just the badass caterpillar. Look around and see. Because even right now, wherever you are, as highly evolved as you are, there's more. Okay, so just look around and be this caterpillar. Enjoy the challenges, enjoy the pain, and do what you can to raise your experience to the highest level that you can. All right. How you feeling, Charlie?
Um, wow, that really resonated with me. So, yeah, like you described my life right now to a T. So
Awesome.
I really like the analogy of the caterpillar and the butterfly. It's
Yeah,
definitely transforming right now. You know, I'm definitely in that transition space and
yeah,
um, trying to figure out how to live kind of in both worlds, like still function in this 3D experience without letting go of my higher calling or what I feel drawn to do.
yeah,
So I'm definitely in that transition space right now.
yeah.
Um, it was interesting how you said, you know, you want to go with your eyes open instead of kicking and screaming. I've been going through the kicking and screaming stage for like a year and a half now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
exhausting.
It's
So
exhausting,
it is exhausting.
and that's
So,
good. The
mhm,
exhaustion is good because sometimes that's the thing that pushes you into that I can't I can't do this anymore,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
You've um you've always been badass to me, and when we first met, we were younger.
Mhm,
We were younger and we were badass in our own way.
right,
And I'm not going to speak to you, but at that time I was badass and I was a badass caterpillar. Had a lot of growing to do, a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn, a lot of growing up in so many ways that I had no idea about,
yeah,
right?
me too.
Yeah, yeah. But badass nevertheless, and that is good. Living our lives pushing outside our comfort zone is what I mean when I
Mhm,
use the term badass,
right, right.
right? Yeah. I could see that in you,
Oh, well,
Charlie.
thank you.
Yeah. I saw your badassery early on, and it's one reason why when I saw you show up, I'm like, oh, Charlie.
I've been living vicariously through you for years,
That's
so
funny. I love
yeah.
that. I love that. It's funny how it works both ways. It's
Right,
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just gosh, the last year and a half has been so transforming for
Yeah.
my life. You know, I suffered some serious injuries and surgeries and
Okay.
things that really forced um, forced stillness where I didn't allow it before. Very much, you know, burning the candle at both ends, getting sign from spirit that I needed to sit still and blowing it off, and then getting bigger signs and taps on the shoulders and blowing it off. And then finally, I feel like my guides are like, okay, we're going to force you to sit down and really turn within. And I feel like that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half. But there's definitely a discomfort in letting go of old things, old programming, old, you know, masks, old armor that doesn't work for me anymore. Um,
Charlie, you are so describing someone who's in that cocoon of change.
mhm,
That caterpillar self is trying to die.
mhm,
And I'm saying it's trying to die because it wants to die. It's natural.
mhm.
You holding on to it and what it was is the issue.
I know. And I feel like as time, the more, oh gosh, I don't even know how to explain this. I feel as if it's getting easier to let go because
Yeah,
how you describe it not feeling natural anymore, or
yeah,
not like, almost like I can't go back,
yeah,
and and being okay with that, like totally loving that and stepping into that
yeah,
as a spiritual being,
yeah.
um, but still being afraid to let go of things that, um, things that logically I feel like I worked so hard for. Like
Yeah.
I put so much time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears into my career and
Yes.
reaching a certain status and having to have these degrees and everything
Yes.
that I thought I wanted, even though I think deep down inside I knew it didn't align with me.
Yeah.
But I still went after it anyway. And then stepping into this part of me that I know is my true self, but requires me to, let go of what's in my hand so that I can
Yes.
receive what's being sent to me, what I know is
Yes.
my innate God-given gifts. Um,
It's
yeah, it's
beautiful.
difficult.
It's
It's really
beautiful. It's beautiful description, and my heart goes to you. And I'm going to take some cards right now
okay.
because I God um because I want to talk to you not from me, but from your guides.
Okay.
And and I want to what you're saying just is so powerful and so um, significant and true. Like you're just describing the process. You're just knee deep in the process of giving birth to the truth of who you are. And you're describing the difficulty of being human, of being attached to the three-dimensional form,
Mhm.
and yet so much more than this 3D form, but the comfort of the form, you know? So let's just, oh, this one. So the card I've drawn is patience and planning.
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's not helping. That wasn't the
I
right
can
thing to
see
do.
it.
Can you see it without without the glare?
Uh-huh.
Wait, if I turn this down,
I
can
can see it.
okay.
Mhm.
So here's what's coming to me. There is obviously a much bigger picture. And the thing that's important is the things from your past that you've done were really well done. And they're building the foundation for what you're going to do in the future. All that stuff, every single thing that you've accomplished, and every single heartache that you have experienced are actually going to give your butterfly wings their shape and their color. Did you know there are a lot of different butterfly species? Like there are thousands of different butterfly species. And your particular combination comes from all that you've created in the past. And the more you hold on to those things and attach to, actually the smaller they become. Because you're holding on, instead of allowing them to expand, they condense and
Mhm.
contract. And then they will become brittle and fall apart. The more you let go, the more they can blossom and flower into the next phase.
Mhm.
So there's going to be that crumbling, the crumbling of the old self, the old structures. And then there's that feeling of untetheredness. I'm untethered. And
Mhm.
that's probably the most uncomfortable thing of all,
Mhm.
because the things, the past, they tether us. They help us feel grounded and safe. And then when you let go, there's that free fall of, ah, and it doesn't feel all that good, even though that's our most natural state. Our
Um,
most natural state is the state of untetheredness, right?
but as an analytical Virgo,
Oh, you just said
that's
it. Yeah,
that's really a challenge because I am so much a planner and a doer and a giver. I can be very left brain. So I have these moments of complete alignment with spirit and my purpose. And I can be in those moments. And then that left brain goes, you got to do this, and this. And, but I live for and love those moments when I'm able to just be in flow.
yeah,
And so I my goal through all of this is to get better at that flow state
yeah,
because it feels so natural. I feel so connected. It's just a challenge to stay there sometimes. um,
how's your
yeah.
meditation practice on a daily basis?
So I meditate every day now.
Great.
Um, some days I'm able to drop in a meditation and stay there beautifully for 20, 30 minutes. Other days my mind won't stop moving, but I still force myself to sit there just as to be disciplined with it.
Hmm.
um, so I will say definitely much better than it used to be. um, but still a process. I know it's a practice. I have to keep
Yeah,
doing it. Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like as long as I do it first thing in the morning, like as soon as I wake up, before my brain kind of kicks into overdrive, I have really good, solid meditations. If I get up and I start moving and doing a million things, by the time I try to sit down and
this is
connect,
it. Yeah.
yeah, it's too late.
So
Too late.
here's what I want to leave you with
Okay.
today, Charlie. You feel safety when you are making plans and when things are kind of structured.
Mhm.
When you're talking to spirit, so this is not the meditation part, right? Your meditation is fine, and it's okay to go in and out of meditation. That is
Mhm.
not an issue at all. What I want you praying for is, let me get this right. Giving your mind, your logical mind, the rationale it needs for this transformation, and giving your heart the space it needs for to pursue its freedom.
Mm. Okay.
And its independence. So you just basically, you need both.
Mhm.
Your heart feels free when it's in a container. And that's contrary because you think freedom is no container.
Mhm.
But your heart is more creative when it has a container, particularly the home. Do you have an altar?
I do. I do.
Yeah, that altar is really important for you. Do you actually write at your altar? Like, do you like sit down with your journal at your altar?
I don't. I usually journal in bed, but I do have a bench, a seat at my altar that I could sit at and write.
That might be nice for you.
Mhm.
What I'd like for you to do, either bring your altar to the bed, like bring aspects of your altar to the bed. You can bring your stones, some photos, whatever you have on your altar that you can
Mhm.
bring to your bed. Or, and when you're doing your journaling and writing,
Mhm.
or you can go to your altar. Either way, it
Okay.
doesn't matter. We want you, though, to have the feeling of being at an altar
Okay.
when you are doing things like writing goals and making plans, things like that.
Okay. That makes sense.
hmm That would do really well for you. You would do very well in that because of the way your mind works and the way your subconscious mind works, right?
Mhm. Right.
So, um, I think that will be something good for you to work on. Now, I want to give you home fun, okay?
Okay.
Homework, home fun,
I like that. Home fun.
right? Because it's fun. We're adults. We actually like doing this stuff.
Right, right.
Now, I'm going to make a post of what the home fun is.
Okay,
I'll put that in the Facebook group,
okay,
but I'm going to just go over it with you right here, okay? Um, there are, the first thing that you want to do is to read the article for this week, which is called Be a Badass Caterpillar.
okay,
And then, when you're done, if you would just, make a note in the Facebook group, just say, hey, I read the article, and just give me a heads up about what you thought. That will be really helpful.
okay,
Okay. And then I want you to do your own personal reflection and your own self assessment. And just ask yourself where you are in this stage. Are you a caterpillar or a butterfly? And I want you to write down why you chose the answer you chose. Now, there are two different things to do. If you find that you are a caterpillar, okay, when you're doing your assessment, say, hey, am I at the butterfly stage or my caterpillar? If you're a caterpillar, there are some questions I want you to think about and some things I want you to do. And I'm going to outline these details again. I'm just going to copy and paste this into a post in the group. You'll be able to see it right away.
okay,
But the first thing I'm going to want you to do is write down some of the things that make you a badass caterpillar. Okay?
mm,
And then after you do that, I want you to write down the things that you feel limit your growth, limit your development, and limit your achievement of your dreams. Okay?
okay,
And I have some notes here about how to go about doing that. Okay, so you're
mm,
going to kind of explore your mindset, your choices, and your moods. Okay, so your behaviors, things like that. It's written out for you. Then, after you do this kind of exploration, I want you to talk to your higher power and have a frank and candid discussion about these things that are holding you back. And I want you to do some meditative listening where you're just listening, like as talking, listening, right? And then writing down things in your journal as you go. Okay.
okay,
And then, Charlie, what I want you to do is to make a commitment to start changing at least one thing from each of the things that we talked about before, which is, you'll see it in the notes, but there's the mindset, the choice, the mood. Okay?
Okay.
I want you to make a commitment to change these things, right?
Okay.
Boom. That's if you're a caterpillar. Now, if when you're doing your self-reflection, you find that you're a butterfly, I'm going to want you to do some things that are different. I'm going to want you to explore your butterfly wings, what the colors mean to you. I want you to write down your biggest accomplishments. And then I want you to write down the obstacles and challenges that you're facing as a badass butterfly. And then you'd notice the difference between the challenges as a badass butterfly versus the challenges as a caterpillar. Okay?
Right.
Now, Charlie, you can do this as an option. You're gonna, you're gonna decide, are you a caterpillar or a butterfly? But it might be fun to do both, right?
Okay.
Just to see, just throwing it out there. Both of the notes will be there for you to explore.
Okay.
And then, again, as a butterfly, what's your mantra? What's your affirmation? And then the question badass butterflies have to ask themselves is, how do we evolve from here? Because this, even as badass as we are, this can't be as good as it gets, because that's when we start dying. So we got to keep pushing higher and higher and flying higher and higher, getting further and further, right?
Right.
Right. So all of those things are what we're going to explore.
Okay.
So how do you feel right now, Charlie?
I feel amazing, which is interesting because I'm usually not even awake this early. So this is
It's
awesome.
early, right? I
But it's
know.
good. Like I've been wanting to get up earlier and to have that kind of fellowship with spirit early
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
So signing up for this and doing the monetary commitment was just kind of that little switch, that little
Yeah.
nudge that I needed to start the process. So I hope to do this more often, the
Yeah.
early rising and connection. So it's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. And I enjoyed it as well. And, this stuff is really important. This is what I'm here to help people do, to help myself, to help you, to help our sisters or brothers. Yeah, we're
All
good.
right. Well, thank you so much. Have an
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah,
day.
thank you, darling. You too.
It's
Have an
so good to
amazing
see
day.
you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I'm so glad we've connected. And I look forward, please post your work in the Facebook group. Feel
Okay.
free to send me a message on Messenger or an email if you have any questions about anything.
Okay.
Okay. I'm happy to help. All right.
Awesome. Thank
All
you.
right. You're
Okay.
welcome. Thank you,
I'll see you
Charlie.
soon.
See you soon. Bye
Bye
for
bye.
now. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, signing off.